today I'm going to talk to you about shading. A lot of times students ask me, how can I shade to make things look more realistic? And when I look at these, if you look at A and B, although they're both boxes, and they both have the light coming from the same direction, the left, imagine the sun right here, and I can tell that because this side is darker on both. B does look more realistic, and I think you'd all agree. And if you look, that's also because of the cast shadow. And cast shadows really do make things look real. It show a direction of light. However, the biggest difference between A and B is not just the shadow, but it's the outlines. A almost looks like a coloring book, the way the outlines are very strong, and this is still just all gray. Each side of the three-dimensional form is a different value. And when you look at things in real life, like this box, even though this is a white box and all sides are the same value, same white color, each side looks to be a different value because of the light source. The light's shining down, so this is going to look dark. And you can even see on the white paper here, the cast shadow really shows up really well. So how do you show that in artwork? Well, I purposely positioned this box slightly at a different angle than this. So you can see how at things that are more challenging angles, how you'd be able to interpret that through shading. So I'm just starting by using sighting to get my angles in. I could also use two-point perspective for this, but I'm choosing to use the sighting method, looking at the angles when I'm drawing them in. And now I'm checking to make sure. I can even draw in the cast shadow shape that I'm seeing here and how it falls. Okay, now what I need to do is really shade it in. What I can do is look at it. If I look, this side looks to be a much darker value than the other sides. And I'm shading that side to be darker. Now I'm trying to keep my marks nice and neat, although please keep in mind that the artist's mark is important to let it show. A lot of times beginners try to do this. They start scrubbing at their paper and you don't want to do that. You want to let your artist's mark show. Sometimes you want it to be super nice and neat with perfect edges. Sometimes you want to be more expressive with your work. That's okay. That's what makes it all unique. Now, once you've done that, you can start shading your other sides. Now, one thing I want you to keep in mind when you're shading your other sides is which side looks darker. Is it the left or the right? Is it this one, the top or the bottom? Always figure out when you have an outline, which shape really is the darker one. Because that way you can go ahead and fade away your outlines. So right now these two look very similar, and the top is just a very light with the way the light's coming from the top left. I can even get the cast shadow in here. And the cast shadow looks really darker if I look at this closely. Cast shadow looks darkest directly underneath the object, and I can even get that in. Pressing harder with my pencil. Now, it looks a little gray. It's a little confusing. I can even go back in with my eraser if I need to. Again, I'm not scrubbing with my pencil, with my finger or anything. I'm letting my mark show. But now I need to make this side darker. I don't want it to be an outline. I don't want to do this to make this side show up. If I don't have enough contrast so things stand out on their own, I can do it by using value. And if the regular pencil doesn't give you enough value, you can also ask me for a dark shading pencil. But now you can really see the difference in the values without that heavy outline. And you can see how you can easily, with a little bit of practice, make things look carefully shaded to show light and form.